We are going to be talking about Moxie Engage today, and specifically how to set up saved searches that we can send to our clientele. So we are aware that Zap will be retired by the end of the year, and one of the things that we had access to in Zap was setting up these saved searches for our clientele. Well, Moxie Engage has the same option. So we're going to go through how to set up a saved search for one of your clients. It'll pull all the data from our websites, which is fed from our MLSs. So it'll be all of our active listings, anything under contract, anything sold, per what that local MLS's settings are. So you should be able to see my screen here, and you are looking at Moxie Engage. So at the very top of the bar is where you'll see Engage. You can also go direct to engage.schmidtresources.com, but as long as you're logged into Moxie, you'll see the Engage option at the top. It does default to your dashboard, which is what you're seeing here. So in order to get over to one of your clients, one of your sphere of influence or a lead, you want to go to People and then My People. That will launch you right here into your landing page of all of your contacts that you have in Moxie Engage. And you can do things like search for them by typing in a name, and it'll pull up anybody with that name. You can also filter your search results from over here. So if you have them in a certain group, you can filter by that. You can filter by client type, by what action may be needed, and then that will let you filter into those specific clients or leads or sphere of influence, however you want to call them, that are here in your Moxie Engage. Once you find the particular client that you would like to set up the saved search for, you just click on their name. So perhaps you were hosting an open house, new buyer came in, they don't have an agent, they are just new into the home hunt, maybe they are just getting pre-approved, maybe they're not quite sure, and so you just kind of want to start sending them information, start sending them possible listings so that you can start judging their interest, finding out what kind of properties they want to look at, and that type of thing. So you go ahead and click on their name. In this particular case, our test case here is 522 Front Desk. And then you want to go down here where it says Faves and Saves, right on that left menu option here. If you've already set one up for them, or if they themselves as the client have logged into our websites and created their own search, that will show up on their Faves and Saves as well. Faves are exactly what it sounds like. It's if they've favorited a property, they clicked on the little heart, that will show up in their faves. Saves are saved searches, and that's what we're going to set up now. Again, you'll see if there's been one set up either by you previously or if the client set one up for themselves. So that's really nice that you can track what they're doing online so that you can track their interest, track what they're actually searching for, and then track if they're favoriting any of the properties. So from here, you could click Create Search. And just like on the live websites, or if you've ever used Moxie Present, this search filtering system works the exact same way. Anything on the map in that boundary will show up in your search results. Now this is specific to searches around a particular address, but you can back out what it defaults to. You can put in a zip code. And then you can see how the map changed. And now any of those dots that are inside our boundary is what's going to show up in our search. You can get very granular. Maybe you have a particular person that's really interested in just specific to waterfront property. You can zoom in on this map. You can move the map around, and then you can draw by clicking Draw, Quick Draw. And then if you draw on the map just around the waterfront, it's only going to give you search results specific to inside that boundary. So you can see we have 31 listings showing now, but if we clear that boundary and zoom out on our map and go back to our zip code boundary, we have 214. So you can get very specific on the map based on the search results that you want. So again, just click Draw, Quick Draw, draw around the area that you're interested in, and it's going to change your search results. Then perhaps this particular client said, I'm not pre-approved yet, but I have a feeling that I'm going to be in the 250 to 500,000 range. You can go ahead and do price ranges as well, and that also will change your search results. You can further do beds and baths if they have a specific want in that category, and when you click on filters here, You can choose to do active, sold, or all listings. You can exclude pendings if you want. You can exclude coming soon as well. Some of our MLSs allow it, some don't. You can also reduce this by single family, condo, townhouse. Maybe they don't want manufactured, they're not interested in land, they don't want farm and ranch, and they don't want multifamily. You can do waterfront, you can do views. Any of this information that filters over from our MLS does give you the opportunity to filter that. So we know we're never going to get as granular as we would with a search from our actual MLS, but we can get pretty darn granular based on what that clientele is interested in purchasing in the market. Once you've set up the filters in which you want to see them, you click apply. And then again, your map will stay this way. It'll filter out per whatever parameters that you've put in. And then once you feel good about what you have it set up as, you want to click email and settings. You can go ahead and name the search. That will help your clientele know what the search is for if you've got them set up on multiple ones. So you can want to name it as specific as you can. So in this particular case, I'll just do Long Lake, 250 to 500, because that's kind of what it was. The email address will filter in from the client because you are in the client's contact card. And then it does give a default email message, but you can go ahead and change that as well. You make changes, let me know if you want to see any of these properties. Whatever you'd like to type in there, make it your voice. Then you can select the frequency and how often you want these searches to go out. Never, because maybe you just want to check with something on them, so you got in here and started to do this, but you want to call them before you set it up, so you can click never so they don't get it right away. Hourly seems a bit extreme. Probably not going to have that many new listings coming up every hour, and that's kind of extreme. Once per day, if it's somebody really hot in the market, they really want to buy something quickly, maybe once a day would be good. Or weekly. So maybe they're fresh into the market, they're not quite sure what they're going to be purchasing, not quite pre-approved yet. You don't want to spam them every day. You can set that up for weekly. We also have this option here, send no new listings email when there are 0 update. So if they have a very specific range in which they're looking, a very specific area in which they're looking, there may not be that many new listings that come up. They may call you and be like, hey, I haven't gotten any new listings, what's going on? You can choose the selection. So once a week, even if there's not a new listing in their parameters, they'll get an email from you saying, hey, just so you know, there are no new listings this week. Just to continue that communication, they'll know the system is still set up and working, and they'll know that you're still out there searching for them. And then once you're done with all your settings here, you click save and send. It's going to send to them right away. Plus it's going to send to them on the cadence which you chose, weekly, never, whatever it is that you chose. Now that you've done that, save search email sent successfully, Moxie's going to be like, hey, do you want to set up your new client on neighborhood news? You can go ahead and click subscribe if you want to subscribe them to neighborhood news as well as the saved search. Or if you think that's just maybe too much at this particular time, you can click no thanks. Now we're back in Engage, back in our people, back in our contact card for this particular client, and we're in our faves and saves. Now that we are in saves, we can see that we do have one saved search. You can always go back and view it. You can go back and edit it. Or if it's just something they're not interested in anymore, or maybe they've purchased something from you, you can delete search. Now, maybe you have this set up for Long Lake, but maybe they're interested in a different lake. So you can always add an additional saved search. By clicking that, it's going to go ahead and give you your same opportunity to manipulate your search results. Again, draw, quick draw. Maybe you gave them Long Lake. Maybe now we want to do Boardman. All of your opportunity for your listing results will show up here. Again, you can filter by price. You can filter by bed bath, and then you have more opportunities to filter out any of the type of properties that you don't want to send them. Again, once you have your search that looks good, you click email and settings. You can come over here and name the search. So with this particular case would be Boardman Lake. Again, you can type in your email message, set your frequency. If you would like to choose them, no new listings, you can do that as well, and then click save and send. Again, if you don't have them set up on some type of neighborhood news, it will always ask if you would like to. We'll click no thanks, and now you can see that we have 2 saves here. So based on the frequency, this one is set up for once per day, this is set up for never. Again, you can always go back in and edit it. Maybe they call you and you're like, hey, this is really great, but I'm just getting it too much. You can come back into the edit, select your frequency, and then save and send update. Again, if you click view, it's going to launch into the search results that they will see when they get the email and click on it. So again, exact same parameter that you drew on the map, all of the properties that are available on the market per whatever filters that you've set up for them. And that is how we can send information over to our clients. Now, the good thing here is if they've gone into a search that they get and they really like a property, they click the heart and favorite it, it will then show up in their favorites list as well, so that you can really track how interested they are in particular properties. So again, we launched into Moxie, and then we went to Moxie Engage. We went to People, My People, and then our contact cards for all of our clients came up, which let me go back a step here and show you that. And then keep in mind, you can filter by things like name. You can go into further filterings by doing here. Maybe you have a brand new person that you want to set up, and you can just click Add People, add their contact card in, and then once you go into their settings, you go to Faves and Saves, and then it'll show you if any have been set up, and you can always go and add a new saved search. Keep in mind, you can always view, edit, and then if they're done with it, go ahead and delete. And that is the topic that we had for you guys today. Let me know if you have any questions. I don't see any currently in the chat box, but feel free to type in a question if you have one. All right. If you don't have the Faves and Saves tab, Michelle, that may be because you don't have an MLS ID in your account. So as an ASC, you may not have an MLS ID in your account. So check that out. If you do have an MLS ID as an administrative staff, you can add that number, and then it should allow your Faves and Saves to come in and allow you to see that. But your agent should be able to see it as well based on their association with their MLS. Good question. Great. Anything else? All right. Well, as always, this will go in our MoxiMonday playlist, available either by schmidtresources.com and the Moxie Square, or going directly to schmidtvideoclassroom.com. All of our topics that we have every Monday are in there for your review. If you have any questions after the fact, don't hesitate to reach out. I thank you guys so much for your time. I hope you have a great week. Thanks, everyone.